Good afternoon, this is Lisa with Soul Nirvana Spirituality, and we are on video 2 of my Sedona experience. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first one, because I had that experience, was the experience I had with Michael of Sedona on the UFO tour. It pretty much guaranteed me that there are ETs. I saw the ships moving. There are several moving constantly. The sky is just kind of like a cosmic highway. I saw planes, satellites, SpaceX, our ships, and ET ships. And I had a lot of dreams about this. And one of the dreams I had after the UFO tour that night was I was just standing in the middle of a field, and there was like a white light shining down on me, and what I was told was they are real. And what I got out of that was that ETs are real, which kind of confirmed what I always thought. The other thing I got was reincarnation of souls is real. And all of this stuff, even though it was a spiritual experience, it wasn't that I questioned it. I question everything. I'm the type of person that questions everything. It was like confirmation on a lot of things, and then I got some information as well. But back to this, the reincarnation of souls is real. However, we do not switch roles. We are always the same gender or sex when we come into this world and when we leave it, even with the change. We'll always be the same. And please don't take that in a negative way. This is just what I got for information. It has nothing to do about how I feel about it or my views on these kind of things. We're always surrounded by the same family members. Sometimes they may skip a life. They may skip a life if they had a hard life that was just extremely hard before that. And they ascend, and when you ascend that way, you can skip a life if it really gets really, really bad and just kind of take a rest. We're always married to the same spouse if we're married until we work out that any issues that we had with them, which brings in the multiple marriages, because in the past, you know, hundreds of years ago, divorce wasn't a thing. You married somebody and you were married to them until you died or they died. And I think that's what it is like the early deaths. People may have remarried at that point. And that's where the additional spouses come in, if you have one. And you have to work out whatever you have to work out with them. You have to work out with them. It can be omitted. Like I said, you can sometimes skip a lifetime depending on how many you need to live out whatever you signed up for. And like if you had multiple marriages, but it also could be if they were like briefer than the longest one you had, or the most intense one. If you had multiple marriages, then those people could be people in your village that you had a close relationship with. Your brothers and sisters are all the same. They may skip out in lifetime, or they may have died in different lifetimes, early or as a baby. But again, we all relive our lifetimes with basically the same people. What we call soulmates, twin flames, divine union, divine counterpart. And this is a really big thing for me, because I never really kind of like to put a name to it. But so many of my clients Now, the big thing is the twin flame thing. That all of a sudden, out of the blue, this thing about twin flames. Um, and, 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't even heard about a twin flame unless you really were spiritual or you knew about the twin flame dynamic at that point. Um, People just didn't know this information. It was very rare for somebody to know that unless they were in that kind of a community. And that was rare. Um, so to get back to that, it's not two halves of a soul. Um, and what they call it, it's very similar. It's called a partner spirit. It's a spiritual partnership is what I get. Um, it's not two halves of a soul, but it's like twins. There's a lot of twinness. You may look like the other person. You can have the same personality. There's going to be something about you that's extremely similar or like. And the fallacy about it, I guess, is an age thing. Some people say there's a big age difference. That's not true. What I got was it's within 3 years of each other, and that's it. You were basically born almost at the same time, and time on Earth is different than time, ethereal time or time anywhere else. It's in the spirit, in the 5D. So the time in the 5D, the way that works is it's about a 3-year period that you could have this partner spirit, or what we call a twin flame. You could meet in every lifetime, unless you skip one. But in order to have a union, both must recognize their partner spirit at some point in a lifetime. This could be at any age. There's also almost always a big obstacle that you have to overcome. It's usually quite difficult. It could be anything. But as long as there's recognition from both souls, the obstacle will go away. And I think the obstacle remains there until, what I got was until both parties, both partners' spirits recognize each other. And then everything falls away. Any obstacle that may be there, whether it be a career, another person, different religions, different backgrounds that, may be a little different, even though you might be so similar. It doesn't mean that you're not the same religion or the same color. That's completely something different. Even if you're two different colors, you could look alike or act alike or have the same qualities or the same interests. So in order, like, once you both recognize this, anything else will fall away. Whether it's color, religion, distance, work, career, people, and the union will happen no matter what, once you recognize that. The other thing I got, again, partner spirits have criteria. Within 2 years of age of each other, they look alike. Some background interest expressions. Others will say they look related or like brother and sister in some way. It's the highest form of love on Earth in the 3D. It is spiritual, but it also appears in the 3D, and that's why they say that. It's the highest form of love. Once you meet this person, whether you recognize them or not, you will notice you're healed from karmic cycles. And there's nothing that compares to this on Earth, whatever it is. Even if you don't come to terms with it or recognize it or think you don't, you will still heal from it. And you can only meet spiritually when you're an ascended person. You're ascended spiritually anyway. Once this happens, you'll be together always in some fashion until physical death of that lifetime is what I'm getting. So it doesn't matter. Like, I think the way I understood it was you're always going to recognize it is if you accept it and come to terms with it. If you don't accept it, you're not going to have that bliss, love, and happiness in that lifetime, and it may have to be another one. But if you accept it, you come to terms with it, and you recognize it, and both parties do, anything else will fall away that needs to be gone, needs to go away. That will bring you into union, any obstacle. So as far as twin flames, and I hope for a lot of my clients, this answers a lot of your questions that I get in readings. I get a lot of these questions in readings, and just in mentorship and in a lot of times I get that when somebody's asking me their opinion, is this my twin flame or not? And that's what I got. That's what I got. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed this segment. We're going to have our next segment, which is going to be our final segment. And I'm going to get into a little more, but these are just the main things. And I'm going to kind of piece together other information I have. But the next segment is going to be on current things in the coronavirus, and global things that are happening. So I hope you stay tuned, and I'm sending love and blessings. Thank you for watching this video.